Well, Davie, must be a bit of a disappointment that result in the end.
Yeah, I mean, 88 minutes, I thought there was a lot of good things there. Last week we managed to sort of see it out. We weren't so lucky today, but I think we're getting better. Performances are getting better and better each week. The first two games were an absolute disaster. Winslow's game, for the full 90 minutes was good, and obviously we switched off just at the end, a couple of minutes before the end, but that happens. A lot of, obviously Kieran came in, his first game wasn't until the second half he really showed what he can do. Obviously Glenn tired a little bit, obviously hasn't played too much football, but we made a change at half time, put Danny on. We're struggling a little bit on the right hand side, so we shored that up a little bit, and I thought we were great. Whether or not it was a penalty kick, I don't know. It could have been, but I wasn't close enough to see if it was. But I think Kieran, it wasn't until the second half that he was actually getting the decisions for him. First half he was getting manhandled a fair bit, and I think maybe pure pressure, he began to get things. You're drawing free kicks which should have got in the first half. But a lot of positive things. As I say, we just switched off at a corner kick. It was obviously Kevin was man of the match last week. Didn't have the greatest game today. But I think as we're bringing players in, the other ones have got to rise up to the sort of challenge more than anything, which most of them have. I just one or two maybe are stuck because the results haven't been great. They've still got that mindset, and that has to change. We've got more players coming in this week at training, and we'll have another player definitely be able to play next week against Dunfermline. But overall, I think if you think of the 88 minutes, it was great. A lot of good things there. Like I said to the players in there, we've got playing against a team Airdrie that have played with the same players all season, and they just kept going. Obviously, the good shape about them. We're trying to sort of not so much patch it up. We're trying to get there, and it's a slow process. But obviously, the 3-0 it's disappointing. We had a go. I'm the type of guy that if you're not going to win the game and you've maybe lost a goal or whatever, just have a go. So we took players off and put a couple of strikers on, more strikers on to try and push the game. But unfortunately, as soon as we did it, we lost a goal straight away, just by pushing on, and that happens. But Tom Ritchie, probably the sad part is that man of the match last week was a defender and this week was a goalkeeper. So it just shows you how things are going. But like Tom Ritchie certainly stepped up. He's been fantastic since we've been here. He's had a lot of disappointments, losing goals. But today, obviously, rightly, he was obviously the best player in the park. But as I say, we just got to keep going, keep doing the same things. It's just about picking up points in each game, and we did it last game. Weren't quite so lucky today. But the players are positive in there. As I say, there's more players coming in. There's a freshness about the whole thing. And we just got to get on with it. We're going to get a few more slaps in the face between now and the end of the season, but it's about how you recover from them. And I think the majority of the players, I've said all the time since we've been here, the Andy McCarthy's, Andy McDonald's, Ryan Strachan's have all had injuries, and they're all trying to get fit by playing. We've got some boys that maybe haven't played for a little bit of time, are trying to get fit, and at the same time we're trying to get players into gel and get better together, more cohesive as a unit, and it'll come. There was a lot of, as I say, for 88 minutes I thought we were fantastic, but unfortunately football's 90 minutes.
You mentioned Tom Ritchie there. It seemed to be a game of penalties, didn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think Tom, like I said to players at half time, that we got that little bit of luck. Gave away a penalty kick, which was a bit of a stupid one to give away, and obviously Tom kept us in the game just before half time. It gave us a lift, and sometimes you've got to, that little bit of luck turns the game on its head a little bit. And I think he was fantastic the whole game. He did a couple of great shot stopper for being so young as well, and we're fortunate to have him. And I think if he keeps going, I mean, obviously playing for us, he's going to get he's quite a busy goalkeeper, and he's here to gain experience, and he's certainly getting experience. And if he can continue that, I think he can go pretty far in the game. He's not the biggest goalkeeper, but he's hard to break down and hard to beat. You watch him in training, and he's getting stronger and stronger every game. So I think, as I say, overall, we're not far away. We've got to realise we are where we are. It's not going to be an easy fix, but I think if we can put on the performances we're having the last couple of games, going forward at Dunfermline next week, and when we play Clyde the week after, then I think we're with them with a good shout.
It's kind of like every game was a cup final, isn't it? We have to win every single game.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's not a case. There's certain games you have to win. There's other games you want to try and pick up points. You know, as I say, you're not going to win every game, but there's certain games you have to try and win. Obviously, when we play Clyde, you've got to Dunfermline next week, and you never know what's going to happen. But I'm sure playing at East End Park and against a full-time team, I'm sure the boys will be up for it. But there's certainly a lot of belief in there. You know, even at half-time, I can see as the games go on, they're more vocal in the dressing room at half-time. End of the game, obviously, there's a lot of disappointment in there. But, you know, I had to tell them that, you know, you can't have the negative thing, you know, because there's been a lot of negativity this season for whatever reason. And you've got to take the good things out of the game today. And yeah, it's disappointing. You know, we could have hung on for nothing each at the end. We could have got a penalty kick. It could have went in, like you said, with the Kieran Shanks one. You know, it might have been a different game, but that's football. You know, you just got to, you know, take the good or the bad. We've got to make sure that, you know, when we step on the pitch like we did today, we're ready. We've got a plan, and it certainly today was good. You know, as I say, we're bringing players in. I just think we need more strength and depth, and then you get guys like Jack Brown coming on and Boris coming on. You know, obviously they caused a bit of problems, but we've now got a squad, and the squad's going to get bigger. You know, obviously one or two have moved out, but you know, we want competition for places, and you know, I think Andy McCarthy, and for me, was fantastic again today. You know, I think he's maybe lost his way a little bit, but the last couple of games he's been fantastic. And what we liked was Ian had said to him last week, "Oh, you were brilliant. You played really well, but you know, he came around and says I can play better than that." And to be fair, he did today. So there's a lot of guys with a lot of hunger and desire, and we've got one or two players that have come in that are trying to find their way. But you know, I think as long as everybody stays positive, that's what the biggest thing I said to players there, that there's disappointment, but for 88 minutes you were great. You know, when you look back at the Edinburgh City game, the FC Edinburgh, sorry, the game was finished in 5 minutes. You know, here we got to 88 minutes, a lot of fight, a lot of desire, and that's what's going to take us to get us off the bottom.